Okay, good evening, everybody, to another edition of the Musbu webinar. Um, so glad to have everyone here.
Hello, can you
Can you?
hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you.
Okay. Yes. So,
Just
like I was
confirm
saying,
that.
welcome to this edition of the Musbu Live webinar, where we partner with you for your business success. Welcome, everybody. Whether you're joining us live today on Zoom or you're watching this replay on YouTube, still welcome. So today we have Michael Okorie, who is a leadership development coach, and he's going to be talking to us about leveraging human resources for business success, right? Leveraging human resources for business success, um, which is a very important topic, whether you are a business owner, an entrepreneur, or an entrepreneur. Basically, if you have to work with people every day, you need to know how to leverage the gifts, the skills, and the talent that they bring to the table to help you achieve your business goals and objectives. Otherwise, you'll be working in isolation and you won't be able to get much done. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Michael, welcome to today's webinar. Thank you for taking out the time, even among the many interruptions and rescheduling that we had to do. Thank you for showing up. The floor is all yours.
Okay, so thank you so much, Tolani, for having me here today in your community, talk about leveraging human resources for business success. Okay. We need to understand how human resource is in every business, in every firm. Beyond business, actually, human resources is life, is the life, core of our existence. Without having human beings around you, you won't just do much. Okay. So as business owners, as startups, as even 9 to 5 hours, at any level you are, at any ladder you find yourself, there is always a need to leverage human resources to drive your life, to drive your business. Okay. So in this live session, I would just walk you through what I have experienced, perhaps sharing my story so that we could find one or two lessons to learn there why we talk about how to make our businesses more successful so that we can achieve the aim, the objective, and the goal of the business. All right. So to help us get started, I wish I could know what we do, you know. So if you can help me type in the chat box what we do, that would be fine. In the chat box, what we do as individuals, Destiny, if you can help me type in the chat box what you do, the business you run, you know, that could be fine. What you do, if you are if you are a startup, business owner, 9 to 5, and have a business by the side. I'm trying to see if I'm seeing any comments yet. No chat yet. Okay, so while we drop our chat, we need to understand that without you being successful in your business, you will go home. All right. So business success is you achieving the objective, the goal of your business. Every business owner has an objective of running a business. Okay. I run a consulting firm, and before we began, we lay out, our objective. Why are we in business? Why are we here? Among other leadership development organizations. Why are we existing? What do we exist to do? What problem are we solving? All right. And we have to take time to roll everything out, to tailor everything down so that at each point in time, we check what we do against our objective. All right. So when we talk about business success, we're talking about you achieving the objective, the goal of running your business. Okay. Until the objective of your business is achieved, you are basically not in business, in quotes. All right. If not, what are you doing? If you're not achieving your goal, your objective, making the money. Of course, everyone in business wants to make money. Is either you're making money or I don't know what else you are doing in business. If first of all, making impact precedes the money because people won't give you their money when they can't attach or associate value to why they are giving you their money. Okay, so at the core, at the hallmark of making money in business is you making impact, is you serving the people. Okay, and your business success is well defined or is hinged on the objective, the goal, and your vision for running a business. I need to establish that very importantly. All right. So that being said, how then can I leverage human resource, particularly if I'm to rephrase the topic of this webinar, I will call it leveraging volunteers for business success. All right. Leveraging volunteers for business success. I did the research and I discovered that bulk, okay, in Africa, 80% of businesses fail 5 years after they began or they went into market. Like 80% of businesses collapse after 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, 4 years, and 5 years of being in business. They collapse. And I also try to understand, why do businesses collapse? Why do startups, why do SMEs not do well after starting with so much passion, so much enthusiasm, so much energy? Why do businesses fail? Because if I know why businesses fail, it will help me to build walls around myself so that my business won't be the next one that will hit the failure milestone. I don't know. Are we getting something here? Please, I need the feedback. Am I making sense to you?
Yes, you are.
Yes,
Am I making?
you're spot on. Yeah, you're spot on.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So I think it would also be nice if I get your, reactions in the comment box so that I know that so you are hearing me or, somebody is
Yeah,
still hearing me.
I've dropped a couple there. I've dropped the one you asked of initially.
Oh my goodness, I can't see it. Oh, I run a tech startup. Oh, sorry. I'm just seeing the chat now. Okay. I run a tech. Okay, great. Awesome. Perhaps I could use your business to, do a case study so that, you can find how to even do better in your business as a startup in tech industry. Okay. So remember I said that businesses fail after 5 years of existence, 80%. In other words, only 20% survives, like 20% out of 100, 80 of them fail. Shouldn't that scare you? It's quite scary to me, all right? It's scary that 80% fail and only 20% survives, the business world or the business industry. So I asked myself, what can I do to not make my business to be the next one that will fail? Okay. So there are a number of things that makes businesses to fail. One of the things that makes business to fail is lack of capital. Lack of capital. When I began my business as a consultant in the leadership industry, I had issues with funding the business because I have to do graphic design, video editing, and I was paying people for all this, right? I will pay my graphic designer 5K for one design. Imagine that when I'm not even making such amount of money like in a day because it's just a startup. Do you understand? So I was paying so much to sustain the business and I wasn't making such amount of money I was paying. Imagine paying a designer for one design 5K, or if you beg the person, plead and everything, the person can charge you 3,000. Do you understand? And you can't just sustain that, all right? Unless you're taking money from somewhere else, which is what I was doing, taking money from somewhere else to put in the business so that for some time I would be able to sustain the business. But at a point, I couldn't just do that. The money became so much. I want to do my carousel design. And of course, these guys charges me per design, 3,000, 5,000. And sometimes the slides are intense slides. Do you understand? And I do it back to back. I run events, trainings here and there. And I pay so much in designs alone, not an assistant or the person that can help me do video editing. Do you understand? So what did I do? This is where I'm going to lay much emphasis on. Please, you can send me a DM when you think my time is up so that I don't talk. I don't use so much time. All right. So what did I do? Knowing that I want to be in business, and at the same time, I'm not making so much money at the time because I am just a startup trying to put systems, structures. And remember, one key thing that will help your business to last is systems and structures. So you get systems and structures are the lifeline of a business, of any startup. You can't keep doing everything all by yourself. It's not sustainable. You will burn out. You will literally get overwhelmed at some point. Imagine if I'm the one now doing my graphic designs, doing my content creation, doing my video editing, doing all of those, and still trying to navigate my way through 9 to 5. I will definitely get overwhelmed and shut down, right? To avoid that from happening, I'm asking myself, what can I do? I'm spending so much in graphic designs. One day, God brought a boy on my way who at the time was trying to learn how to design graphics and all that. Okay, so what did I do? I picked him and I told him, Joshua, I wanted to start designing my graphics. Okay, so just play around it. At the time, he was not good, right? He was still trying to learn, the graphic design thing and all that. I said, Joshua, let's come to my team and let's see what we can do together. So he joined my team and became my graphic designer. This is about 3 years working with him as a volunteer, 3 good years working with him as a volunteer. He's my team. I don't pay him. In quote, I don't pay him salary, but he's doing the job with all his mind, with all his heart, with everything he has. All right. So when he joined my team, he was not that good. What did I do? I began to invest in him. I began to grow him, not just growing him to work for me, growing him to become better for himself. Because I know when I employee becomes better at what they do, they are the first beneficiary of their growth, of their expertise, before the company or the firm even benefits that. So I was much interested in growing him as a person because I know that if he grows, it impacts in what he do with me. Do you understand? It impacts in what he do with me. I at a point I gave him so much work, so much. He was not meeting up with my expectation, but I was patient with him. Till after 1 year, 2 years, and this is the third year of him working with me as a volunteer. Question becomes, what did I tell him that has made him to stay with me for 30 good years? Does that sound like, can you imagine somebody working with you for volunteer for 30 good years? I don't know. Any response to that? How does that sound to you? Let me get the feedback. How does that sound to you? Right, let me get your feedback.
He must be passionate about that thing, for him to stay that long with you. So that's my take from here.
Okay, he has passion. Okay, yeah, that is it. Someone else, any other response? What made him to stay with me all these years?
He was also getting some kind of value in return.
Exactly, that is the point. He was getting value in return. Because if he has passion and he wasn't getting value from me, I can tell you, he would have gone away. He would have run. He would have left me to someone else. But because he was getting value, he stayed with me. All right? Exactly. Getting value in return. Getting value in return. So if you must leverage the human resource in your team, you need to be someone that they can find so much value in. I learned that. Do you know that people don't resign from a company they are working with? People resign from not being understood. People resign from not getting value in return, from what they are giving. Do you get? Because they don't like the 95 about last month. Yeah, I resigned from my 95. So I didn't resign from my job because I was not the job wasn't what I wanted. I resigned because I felt that I was not getting value in return. I was putting in so much value, but the company was taking more from me, and I wasn't getting anything meaningful in return from the company, from the organization. As a result, I have to drop my job. Does this make sense to you? So if your team members must stay with you, if the human resource you have must stay with you, you must find ways to make yourself become so much valuable. You must become so much valuable. It's easy for people to stay with you when they remember the value they get from you. I'm not talking about money. In fact, one day I did appraisal with my graphics guy. I asked him, Joshua, you've stayed here for 3 years with me and I'm not paying you. Shouldn't you have gone? What has kept you here with me all these years? He said that the truth is, though I'm not paying him, but he is learning so much from me. He's learning so much from me. That in fact, I happen to to be one of the strong voice that speaks over his life. That alone has made him, and not that I scold him. Oh my goodness, I scold him. I scold him when there is need for that. Okay, I don't just wake up in the morning and start scolding him. All right, when there is need for that, I scold him. But in the midst of that scolding, I reaffirm my value for him, reaffirm my love for him, and everything. All right. So there are 4 basic things that you must do to leverage your human resource. One is value them. 4 basic things you must do to leverage your human resource. One is value them. People want to be valued. All right. And this value reflect in how you talk to them, how you address them, how you react to them, how you respond to them. Do you understand? You don't have to talk to your team members in ways that make them doubt themselves, in way that makes them think that they are stupid. I see team leaders or team leads call their team members stupid. No. If your team members are stupid, it means that as the head, you are also stupid. Because if it flows from the head, it means that the stupidity is flowing from you down to them. All right? Though they may do stupid things, remember, doing stupid things is not as the same as being stupid. No one is stupid. All right. Though people can do stupid things, that does not mean that they are stupid. So we must value our team members to the extent that they perceive our value for them, to the extent that they sense the value that we have for them. You cannot, claim that you love a person and they don't feel it. No, they must feel your value for them. Number 2, you must appreciate them. There is what I do when my team members do a work for me and I don't like it. Perhaps it's not what I wanted them to do, or they didn't meet my expectation. What do? I have to praise them. Thank you so much for doing this. It's just so nice. But can we have something better? How about this? How about that? How about that? After pointing the errors, I will state again, thank you so much. I trust in your creativity. Do you get that? After I have, thanked them, make them feel like heaven, appreciate them, I then criticize what they did carefully. Also, I reaffirm my trust in their creativity. That way, I'm making my corrections to land softly. They won't feel like they're being corrected. Just like conversation. You get? So number 2, you must learn how to appreciate your people. You can't leverage your human resource if they don't feel appreciated by you. You can't. Number 3 is love them. Love them beyond what they do for you. Love them as individuals. In fact, when I asked my designer, at a point we had a conversation, he said to me, sir, that he wonders why I love him so much, and that he has discovered that I have genuinely loved him, and everyone in the team, and every single person around me. That way, it makes it easier for them to commit to me and to what I am about because I believe in them, I trust them, I value them, and I love them. I love them. And that my love for them determines every single thing I do with them. You know, when I'm talking to them, I buy interest in them as a person. Remember, I've hammered so much in them, growing them, not just about the work. I observe that most times employers are very much careful. They are drawn, all right, in what the people do for them and not just in getting them to grow as individuals, forgetting that the growth of the individual is also the growth of the team of the organization as a whole. All right, so you must provide that atmosphere that enables them to grow and in turn enables them to give the best to you. All right, and then so I said number one is you must do what? Can we recap? Number one is what? Let me see it in the chat. Let me be sure we are following. 4 ways to maximize your or to leverage your human resource. One is what? Are we still here?
Usually they get value.
They get value. Number two.
Value of transfer.
Am I the only one in this room this night?
Even me, I'm surprised.
No, you're not. You're not. I was typing mine actually. Okay. I think the second point I noted was complimenting them, in complimenting them, rather than scolding them.
Okay, yeah. And number third is what? Love them, right? Love your team members. They need to feel the love. It's not just enough to have the love in their heart. I tell every single one in my team around me, I love you. Sometimes I ask them, hoping I love you. They say, sir, I know so much. Oh. We just play around it. It makes I create an atmosphere that enables them to become vulnerable to me. And number four, get them to become vulnerable to you. This is, thank you so much, thank you. Get them to become vulnerable to you. This is the deal breaker. If you can get your team members to become vulnerable to you, forget it. They will kill themselves to you and have mastered all of these things. Right? I know how I get them to become vulnerable to me. I become vulnerable to them first. Vulnerability begets vulnerability, and the leader has to be the first person to become vulnerable. You know why? People have their stories, they have their life experiences, and they want to share it. I can tell you, people want to share their story, but they want to be sure that they are sharing their story with the right person. Okay, so you need to tell your own stories so that they will find you relatable to tell their story, to become vulnerable to you. Because when people are not performing well in your team, you don't know what they are passing through. But if they have become vulnerable to you, they just pour it all out to you. And that way, you can come in, perhaps offer help the best you can. All right? It could be giving them counseling, recommending a course for them to take, whatever you can do. But when they are bottled up, they don't talk, they don't, share their stories with you. Whatever happened to them, they try to do it all by themselves. That is not sustainable. You can't sustain it. You can't. Like I was saying, you need to be vulnerable to your team members. Okay, people want to share their stories. They want to. I have worked with human beings for years now, and you can discover that you as the head, when you begin to share your story, they also share their own story. Have you ever experienced people, you tell your story and they feel that they can relate with it, and the next thing they do is to bring up their story to tell. All right? Why haven't they told that story before now? They, they weren't so sure that they will be understood. All right? They weren't so sure that they won't be judged. For example, if a lady is raped, for example, and after passing through that trauma and everything, and she comes out to share her story, and perhaps someone in the crowd have had similar experience, similar story, but have not had the guts to share her own story. What do you think that will happen? The person quickly comes to you and say, I have had this experience before. Do you understand? But all the while, the person didn't say it. But because he or she have seen someone that they think that won't judge them, why? We share the same story. We've experienced the same thing. So basically, I'm not afraid of being judged. Right? So vulnerability is one of the paramount ways to really leverage your human resources. You must be vulnerable to them. You must. You don't say, if I want breathing life in the life of every other person in your team. As a matter of fact, you need a whole lot of leadership skills to be able to leverage human resources. All right. And mind you, leadership is not about position. No, it's not about people being under you. It's not. In fact, John Maxwell said, if what makes you a leader is because you have people under you, you are not a leader. That is the lowest level of leadership. All right. You are a leader when you bring transformation, when you bring impact, when you bring relevance, when you bring meaning, when you bring change in the lives of people under you. That is when you are their leader. All right. People want to be led. People want to follow somebody, but at the same time, people don't follow people like them. All right? People don't follow people like them. People follow people who are better than them. Because if you're just like me, we could be friends. Okay? Yeah. But if you have something I think I need that will transform me, that will impact my person and help me become a better being, submitting to you won't be that hard. But people struggle to submit when they are not getting transformed, when the system is not making them better. So, as a business owner, as a team lead, as a startup, at any category, you must develop the leadership capacity. In fact, at the aim of leveraging human resource is your leadership skill. All right. You must learn how to carry every single person in your team along. beyond loving them, beyond valuing them, beyond caring for them, beyond being vulnerable to them and believing in them, you must be able to lead them. Right? Bring change, bring impact, bring transformation. I can tell you, when people are getting transformed by you, it's easier for them to stay with you. Very much easier. But in the case where they are barely getting transformed, they are barely growing under you. Come on now, why are they there? All right? People should be able to grow under you. In fact, when people come to me, either team members, whatever, mentees, and they stay with me for 2 months, 3 months, I give them I have an appraiser form. I want to know from when they met me till now, what has happened in them, like inside of them. I want to know how my life, how by the virtue of them being around me, has transformed them. That way, they stay longer with me because they are getting transformed. All right. So I think this is also what you need to do as a business owner, as a startup, to always checkmate people that are around you to see how they are getting transformed. Ask them questions. Let them give you feedback. Let them share their story of transformation with you, their story of impact with you. How have you been able to impact them to move them from where they are to the place they are meant to be? Even if they're not there, at least they've left where they used to be to somewhere better as a result of being in your team. That way, you were able to leverage your human resource. Okay? Being an inspiring leader, add value, be a voice over their lives. Okay? Let there be something from you that flows to them, that transforms them. Very important. Let there be something from you that flows to them, that transforms them. That way, you are able to really, really leverage your human resource for impact and for meaning. In fact, when people come to believe you as a leader, as a head, they can believe in what your business is about. All right? So you need to really fight to get them to believe in you. People don't believe in business. They believe, first of all, in the owner of the business. All right? People don't believe in systems. They believe, first of all, in the visionary behind the system. Okay? So you need to really fight to get your team, your people to believe in you as the head. If they believe in you, they can believe in your vision, in your business, what you're about, and they can commit to your goals. Okay, so that is really how to, if you apply these things, can tell you, you will move from where your business is now to where it should be, or to a different place, to a different milestone. Okay, note those in your team. Also, last thing I will say, learn how to spot out the strength of every person in your team. All right, learn how to spot out their strength and leverage it. Don't compare them. Don't begin to compare your team members. No, we are different. So is our strength. Okay, so discover each person's strength and maximize the person's strength. Don't focus more on their weakness, okay, unless you want to help them navigate it. Unless that, if not, focus more on their strength. leverage the strength to move your business forward. And of course, if you are to hire people that will cover up your own weakness as the business owner. Okay? You don't hire your strength, no? You hire your weakness. All right? You hire your weakness and not your strength. Okay? So you also need to know your weakness as a business owner and then hire somebody that has that strength in the area of your weakness. Don't focus on their weakness. Remember, you are hiring their strength, so focus on their strength. Okay, for the fact that the strength is helping cover your weakness as, as a business owner. Okay, so if you're able to value them, believe in them, love them, trust them, provide transformational leadership. Emphasis on transformational leadership, not positional. Positional leadership is the lowest level. You know, when we come to pyramid of leadership, position is at the lowest level. All right, is at the lowest level. Then when you come to the pinnacle, pinnacle is where the people in your team begin to grow other team members. All right, that is when you are the Eden of leadership. All right, when people in your team begin to grow other team members. If you get them to that place where they don't just do the work, they begin to, replicate themselves. Come on, you have gotten them. Where they can teach others the process of what they know how to do, that is how to build a sustainable business. And that way, the chain continues. The chain continues. Okay? Don't just be a business owner, be an inspiring and a transformational business owner. That way, you can leverage your human resource to move your business forward.
I have a question though. So you mentioned that you need to know your team strength. Yeah, you need to focus on your strength, not your weakness. Now, like in my team, I have some guys that okay, I think one.
What do you do?
Me? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a product designer.
Designer.
Yeah, product. I do UI UX and front end graphics.
Okay.
So I do more on product design, but sometimes I do code React.
Okay.
Okay, so I have this my guy in my team. There's a product we are trying to build, and this guy is I don't know if he's a designer, if he's um a developer. So sometimes he will code, sometimes he will design. But what the design is actually very nice. And the coding, sometimes you lose focus and go into coding. So in that case, what do you think should be the what, like, how are you going to code with that?
Okay, if I understood your question, there is a guy in your team. Sometimes he codes, sometimes he designs, right?
Yeah.
And you're asking, how do you know his strength?
Yes.
Okay. So, what have you asked him what his interest is? I missed his skills.
Okay. Let me bring this on. For me, for me, the reason why I learned how to code because I have a company I'm running, and sometimes you get to your guys can fall your hand, or maybe you take code and just leave the code because of one thing or the other. So sometimes I got to learn how to code. For me, for my own as a product owner, I need to know how to I need to be have a broad knowledge on several things. I know myself, but my strength is on design. I really love design. Though the code is just a one side. I wish I don't really focus on coding. I only use it to make some corrections to understand so that I can communicate with developers. That's how the whole essence, the main essence of learning how to code, just to communicate, to understand the language. Now, but for this, my guy, we have I have like two front end developers. Hello, can you still hear me?
Can you increase your voice a bit?
I'm using earpod. I don't know if it's because of that. Can you hear me now? Okay, so for me, while I learn how to code is because so that I can communicate with developers. That's the main my main thing is on product design. That's where my strength is. So, but this my guy in my team, I have two front end guy and two back end guy. So this my guy is very good in design. So the guy is good, but sometimes he lose focus. I asked him, which one are you really? Are you a designer or you are a developer? He said that sometimes his spirit tell him to to code. So it's like anyone that comes, if it's development that comes, you code. If it's design that comes. So I try to balance like where should I place him on design? Now I can place him on design before my guy will just stop and go into coding. And like guy, we have the front end guy, just leave the coding first. So I don't really know how to go
Okay.
about it.
Yes. Since he knows how to do a number of things, right? He can code, he can do graphic design, right? So when people come into a team, you give them job description, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you tell them what to do. Okay. And if there are other skills they want to bring into the table that is beneficial to the team or to our business, then that is fine. But there has to be his job description rolled out. All right. Of course,
Yes.
your job role determines your job description. Okay. When we have his job role, we can then tailor down his job descriptions. Okay. So if he has many talents that could fit into many job roles, we are to hire him for one job role. And if he feels that he wants to, bring in other skills that he has for the success of our business, then fantastic. I can't hinder him. All right.
Sorry?
If my designer comes to that and says, "Sir, I want to start doing your video editing," my goodness, brilliant, fantastic. But you must focus on where you are hired.
Okay, that's sometimes all those things always bring a kind of problem because and this particular stuff it will take longer time because he has maybe gotten a side gig that's required him to code, so he will suspend. He will slow down the speed of the design
Designs.
phase. Yeah.
And then if you at some point think that he's no longer doing the main thing that he wants to do in the team, then call him and ask him, right? If he says that I think that I want to do career pivot, and you think that the area he is now is still beneficial to the business, then leave him there leave him there, and get someone else to work in the area he was working before they pivot.
Right.
Do you get?
Yeah.
If you say
Yeah.
that I want to start coding now, and that coding is beneficial to the team, brilliant, code. But for the meantime, can you still be doing designs while we find somebody that could replace your design role while you then focus on coding entirely?
Okay.
Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, great, great.
All right,
Is
thank
your
you very
light
much.
on? Let me see your face, Joe. Is your light on?
Michael, you have
Um,
I like
is
seeing
it
people's face.
just oh my face don't make sense, so
Ah, it makes sense. So, what is that one? Your face should make sense.
okay, let me do that. I'm trying to reply the message. Where cameras? Yes, uh, let's see. My face doesn't make sense.
See, face makes sense now. Thank you so much. Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that helpful thoughts.
All right. Thank you. Okay, so I'm done with my class tonight.
right. Well, Michael, thank you so very much. That was really insightful. I think one of the longest sessions we've ever had. And
Oh, really?
I know that everybody that is going to watch the recording later would get a lot of value, which is something I'm really happy for. So thank you for showing up. Thank you for staying this long. Thank you for taking your time. And I think we can call it a night. Thank you once again. We really do appreciate. All right. Take care. To have a lovely evening. Bye.
Bye.
All right, bye bye.
Yeah, bye.